All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Dash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And as you can see in the title, keep your eyes open. Something is going on. All right, and then in parentheses, we have Cern-Georgia Guidestones. And pretty much recently, we've all heard about what happened. I think maybe 2 days ago was July 5th when they as according to them they powered on CERN's. Now I believe CERN is the name of the company, and the actual device is the Large Hadron Collider, or the LHC. They powered it on this one. They had done something like this before, which they ended up finding or discovering something they call the Higgs boson, which they say it's like a particle, something along those lines. But in essence, what they're what they're doing is basically like smashing or two protons or different kind of particles together in order to get another thing. Like if they break up, what's going to happen? And they're trying all these different theories that they have to test them out and to see if any of those theories have fact to them, and Salakia, and what they can learn about more about the universe. Now, I was reading earlier this morning about the possible consequences of them doing these things on their website. Right? You had people that say, "Oh, can't this open black holes? Can't this get out of control? Can't this like bring different types of material matter, either here or there? Can it open a portal?" All of these different things. And their answers were basically, what they're doing is not something that the universe doesn't already do, meaning that the universe already does, using cosmic rays, it already does these things that they are trying to do. So the chances of them doing or creating some outcome or some consequence that the universe doesn't already do by itself is slim to none. But then here's the thing. If say we go with the fact that the Most High already programmed the world, to function the way it does, so naturally it does do these things that they're trying to replicate artificially. The problem is it's been programmed, it's been set up to function a certain way. Esau doesn't know the full intricacies of how these things work. Right? So they're going in there with a mindset of discovery. Let's try this, try that, see what happens. When you do that, you're likely to do something, imagine somebody who's never been in a lab before, they're not a chemist, and they're in a chemistry lab mixing different potions, just putting different things together, like, oh, that looks nice. Oh, what about this? Let me put them together and see what happens. Eventually, there's going to be some reaction, some maybe acid or some explosion or something like that goes on. So what they're trying to do now in, opening up this and doing this, I mean, personally, not even personally, scripturally, everything is the doing of the Most High. So the fact that now this image here, I believe it's a part, like a piece of their of the collider, because when I pulled it up, you have the LHC, right? There's some different images here, like the pipeline, and then you have you had all these different kinds of images right here. This looks real, very, very, very intricate. It looks very advanced. But of course, like I was saying, the Most High has put it into their minds to go ahead and do this, to try and experiment with this, to try and do something with this. So we know everything the Lord does is for a reason. So now we got to watch, because now that it's already been fired or it's already on, something is going on. How many times do you see, and this is just like a little example, but like sometimes a scientist say they're working on an experiment, or they're trying to open a portal, or they're trying to do something, and then they try it, and since they don't really know the fullness of it, they have some expectations, but then maybe they open a portal, but then it looks like it didn't work. So they're like, whatever, but not knowing that it actually did work, and something is going on that they just didn't catch. And then before you know it, there's some catastrophes going on as a result of that. And now they got to backtrack and all this. But the point is, at the end of the day, the Most High is in control of it all. And they're, tempering with a different level of understanding that they're not exposed to. Now they've been studying this Higgs boson, thing for a long time. And actually it says here, this was published July 5th, 2022. It says the Large Hadron Collider project discovers 3 new exotic particles. So already, they're already discovering new things. It says the Large Hadron Collider Beauty, or LHCb collaboration, has announced the discovery of 3 new exotic particles. Exotic particles such as these had only been theorized but not observed until recently. These exotic particles are built out of quarks. And then it goes on, it says, like protons or neutrons, the particles that make up the nucleus of the atom. These new particles are made up of quarks, explained Chris Parks, professor of experimental particle physics, yada yada. He says, however, protons and neutrons are made of 3 quarks, whereas exotic particles are made of 4 or 5 quarks. So you're in a whole nother, field at this point. If you're interested in reading more about it, I will put the article right here in the chat. Oh, did that come up right? It looks a little weird on here. Okay. All right. I think I think the second one might be the link. If you click on that, let's see. Yep, I think it should take you there. I don't know why it came up looking like that, but anyway, so back to this, right? So they're messing around, touching all of these things. Something is happening. This is the year of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai turning up, and turning things up. So things are being turned on. Things are happening. So we got to stay alert in the spirit. Now there was another video that I saw that was done by the not done, but it was re-uploaded on the LD Ashwamba's other page, 2 through an info, and it was going into how these elites actually get into this dark magic, black magic, sorceries, and all of that, which they do. It's not just something we say, they do. And I remember for the longest, my brother Haran, he always says, he's like, yo, these, like, they're putting it out there in front of you, but that's because they actually have to. Like, they gotta let the people know what they're about to do before they do it. That's why you have things like predictive programming. That's why you have, they'll come out and they'll blatantly say what it is they're trying to do, and then partially in code, but partially not. And in the video, let's see if we can find it, because it's like 2 minutes long, but it mentions a lot of good information. And so basically what they're saying is the people have to consent onto the let me see, there we go, 2 through an info. The people have to consent, this one, spiritual wickedness in high places. So let me go ahead and copy that link and drop it here. For those who haven't already seen it, definitely recommend go and watch it. It's a little bit of information, but you'll be able to see what's going on there. And basically, as the guy says in this video, they have to let people know what they're doing, and basically you have to consent onto it. So the way they do it is they'll say, well, we'll put it out in your face, and if you still allow it to happen, then you've consented, and therefore we can go ahead and do it. And it's a part of their requirements that they have to follow in order to exist, or in order to be there. And so that's why you have a lot of this predictive programming, and they've done a very intricate job of getting people to be comfortable with predictive programming. That's why you have conspiracy theorists. The term conspiracy theorist is basically to lull you back to sleep. So what do you often see? They'll put something straight up in your face and will tell you, look, they're talking about this. This is what they're getting ready to do. They're literally showing you right there. And then they'll say, no, 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 no. Don't listen to them. Those are conspiracy theories. They're just made up. These guys they're looking for something. So then you don't take action. You sit there and say, yeah, it's probably right. It's probably just a movie. It's probably just a song. Oh, he was just joking about that. No, that's not what he means. And guess what? By doing that, you are technically consenting because you're not coming up against it. You're not blatant. No, no, we don't want this. No, you're not doing that. So they're fulfilling their requirement in order to do what it is they have to do. You know, so yeah, they do deal with sorceries and all of that. It's real. When you go back to the time of Egypt, Moses and Aaron were going, you know, whenever they went to to Pharaoh to tell him what the Lord's message was, Pharaoh's magicians and sorcerers, they also did things, right? On the left-hand side. And you read about that. So it's real. Left hand, dark magic, demons, it's real. They actually they have dealings with it. And in the video, he also mentioned that you can't they can't just summon a demon. There's a specific set of, you know, rituals in a specific way you have to do in order to have access to these demons. Well, guess what? On the right hand side, there's a specific way of, you know, like specific sacrifices, specific way of doing things when you come to serve the Most High. And there's the same for the demons on the left hand side. So these devils do very specific things, and their job is to have a cover story for it. So if it's a sacrifice that needs to be done a certain way, they have cover stories, like a mass shooting. Somebody drove a car into a crowd. You know, there was this earthquake and this many people died. You know, there's this sex trafficking. Somebody got shot. These are all cover stories that can cover whatever ritual it is that they need. If they need to, maybe, I don't know, this I'm just saying as like an example sake, but if they need to maybe do a baby sacrifice or whatever, and then they say, oh, abortion, let's come abort this baby, you know, whatever it is. But they do it and they cover it up well. So people are just there while these people are using demonic energy to go ahead. That's why the Apostle Paul said, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, all right, but against principalities, okay, spiritual wickedness in high places. That's real. It's not a fable. He's not just being poetic. That's real. These elites are Satanists, okay? They're illuminated on the left-hand side. So they go into information through the left hand, okay, through the dark way, but they still get what they need to get done. Now, I don't know what correlation this particle accelerator has with the Georgia Guides. I don't know what correlation it has with anything. All right, but understand that these devils, with their interaction with demons, they could be doing something. They could be trying to open a portal to let them in or something. Who knows? But anyway, once they start to get a little understanding of these things, what do you think they're going to try to do? They're going to try to control it and try to re-engineer it and try to see if they can split it up and get a new particle. Can they then put it together to form a new form of matter or whatever? These devils, they get into that kind of stuff, you know? So whatever's going on, we know that the scriptures say that we're coming into a time like never before, right? So that means that something is happening, something is going on, something else is going to happen that is going to lead to things we've never seen before, both in the physical and in the supernatural sense. When you read in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, 17, 18, it talks about the apparitions, right? And the judgments that came that came upon the Egyptians in ancient Egypt. That has happened before. There were demons, you know, sounds, spooky, eerie creatures. That's happened before. Demons possessing people. That's happened before. Angels coming down, whooping people's ass. That's happened before. So imagine the time we're coming into when it says what we're going to see has not happened before. It's going to far surpass whatever we have seen in the world. So demons, yes. Death angels, yes. People being possessed, yes. Okay, a lot of shit you can't explain. Yes, that's what's getting ready to take place, along with the famines and the pestilences and the martial law and the the MOTB and all of that. So it's gonna be a lot of things going going on at once. But moving on, the next one, of course, like we all know, the Georgia Guidestones were destroyed. Now, I was watching a video that the elder apostle Ramlab did, and he was mentioning how basically it's like they had this thing set up for a period of time. I think he said like 43 or 44 years. Um, and it basically, of course, it had like their version of like their commandments on there. It had in different languages. It was designed a specific kind of way. But it's also likened onto like a calendar or a time, a time monument or something of that sort. So obviously, if this is something that they wanted to preserve past now, or if the Most High wanted it to be preserved past now, it would still be standing. They would make sure that whatever it was that caused that peace to break wouldn't, they would have protected it to where that didn't happen, right? So if that happened, the Most High allowed it to happen. They just said, okay, now we're just gonna break it all down. Maybe the first breaking was an excuse to take the whole thing down. Who knows? But why take it down now? Right? What's the significance behind that? Was it there up until the time they feel ready to implement it? And then now they're like, all right, time is up. We're doing it now, take it down. Who knows? We're gonna have to watch and see. But that's why I titled the video, Keep Your Eyes Open, Something is Going On. All right. Something is definitely going on. We're not living in, normal, regular times. As it says, make a plan. So this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 15. And it says, see then that you walk circumspectly, right? Going back to like around, right? And spectate or a spectacle, which is to look, or something you look at or you observe. So you have to be circumspect, looking all around and watching. You're not just looking just to look. You're looking and observing and filtering what's going on and what you're seeing through the scriptures. All right. That's right. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Shai Brakathum. This is the elder brother Amuan Gabar, GMS Awakening 144, the end. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Yeah, exactly. All right. And we're in the time, as the scriptures have explicitly said in many different ways, this is going to be a time like never before. Now, look, if a human being, right, your friend or somebody comes and tells you, yo, bro, this shit that's coming, bro, is crazy. That's from a man's perspective. Okay, that's from the perspective of another man. Now, you may see it and say, nah, I don't think it's that crazy. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but it's not that crazy. We're not talking like this ain't like your homeboy telling you, yo, bro, it's about to get wild out here. No, this is the scriptures. And the scriptures don't underestimate. If the Most High put the spirit on these men to actually say, look, this time is going to be unlike any other, right? That's not an over exaggeration. That's to be taken very, very, very seriously. Because, I mean, look at the things that have taken place in history. There have been some crazy things that have happened in history before. So for you to then read, even after all these things have happened, that now something's about to happen that's never happened before, well, then it would make sense that you got these devils trying to dig into different things. And I have a feeling this thing is either gonna do something that they're not expecting, or it's gonna malfunction, or it's gonna do something, because like I said, why would the Most High have them turn this on and start going into it again on a much higher level? They literally, what they did was they turned it up, because they had something like this similar that was going on years back, and now they turned it up with a large hadron collider. So let's see what comes of it. But as the scriptures say, not as fools but as wise. There's a precept that says that the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. That's what we're doing. All right, we're foreseeing the evil, and we're hiding ourselves in the spirit all right, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay. And it doesn't matter what we look like. It doesn't matter how we dress. Okay. We're not giving fist bumps to the Most High up in the spirit world. Okay. All those outwardly, jokey little things, that's all gonna stop. That's not gonna benefit you. All right. The Most High is not interested in those things. What the Most High, the scriptures say that the Most High searcheth what's within. Okay. So you could dress like a bum. You could dress, dress regular. That's not Most High. Oh, damn. Do you see them sneakers right there? No. Put them on the top of the list. What those? You said the Air Force 98s? Yeah, that shit's hot. That's not what the Most High is thinking about. All right. It says here, verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. So we are living in evil days. We're living in a bad time, and it's only going to get worse. This shit is going to be looking like a scene out of Stranger Things. I've never watched Stranger Things, but I've seen some trailers. I plan to watch it, but those kinds of things. Stranger Things, The Mist, another one I got to watch. And all these kinds of movies. Where do you think those ideas are coming from? Okay. The world is about to start looking like that. All right. You're about to start seeing some real stranger things in real life. All right. And that's why it's so important. Isaiah 62:6, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. This is why it's so important that we don't keep silent, because this is a massive change. Like there's something massive. Yeah, Ghostbusters. There's something massive going on. Now we know, right? We know that we know that they are demons. We know they exist, right? And usually when you hear about them, they jump on somebody, and then the person does all these things that are going on. All right, but like we read in the time of Egypt, there were apparitions that showed themselves, to these people in Egypt and scared the living hell out of them. Okay, so who knows? You might be running, and you might run into a how they have those bus stops where they have the seat and you sitting in the little thing waiting for the bus, and there's like a poster, like usually it's a movie poster or an ad or something. You might see Chucky on that poster, and then you may turn around and turn back, and he's doing a different pose on the poster. And then you may think, yo, am I bugging? Did that poster just move? But then you stop and you look at it from the corner of your eye, and this dude jumps out of the you just freaking see a hand just jump out of the freaking poster and grab your leg. You know what I'm saying? You see this doll running full speed. Hey, they show you that. They demons jump on vessels, So who knows? Maybe you might see somebody getting chased down the street by Chucky. Or a couple of Chuckies. But because that's the time we're in. The Most High is going to be bringing some real crazy, scary things, man. That's why when that time comes, look, all this talking and all that is going out the window. Talking stops when reality hits. When reality hits, it's literally life or death. People don't care about what they look like. People don't care about, my pride and my ego. That goes out the window. People will do whatever they have to do to survive. And as a matter of fact, there was I think it was the movie, not the movie, the TV show Black Summer. And I think it was the first season. I think it was that TV show, right? There's a scene where, things are going bad. And there's this, I think it was a couple or a group of people. I forgot who they were, but they were driving the car. And then they drive, and they come across this guy and his girl. And they like, the guy and his girl like banging on the door, like, yo, please, let us in. Yo, bro, we'll do anything. And then the girl says, I'll even blow your rod, if you just let us in. And then the her man ain't say shit. He's pretty much like, yeah, I mean, if that's you gotta do what you gotta do to get us in the car. Now think about that. He didn't even flinch. He didn't look back like, wait, what? He didn't do any of that. He was just whatever we got to do to get in that car. Why? Because it was life and death. And at that point, people will do anything. So imagine when there's a death angel on your ass. You're not saying something like that to a death angel. They're going to be spirits on people, and they're going to be going around like some purge like type situation. And it doesn't matter what you say or what you do to this person. He's just like in a trance, just getting ready to kill your ass. You know, like you have certain people that their eyes are wide open. They're taking the Frankenstein steps, boom, boom, boom. You know, and then you hit this dude in the back of the head with a metal bat, and then the metal bat bends. And this guy's just standing there, just coming. He grabs your neck, and demons will make somebody like that. You know, they'll somebody can look frail, but they got legions of demons on them. They're gonna be moving like they got super strength. All right. So that's why it's important that we keep on warning the people, because this is going to be something major. Matter of fact, not that it's going to be something major. There's already something major going on. And with every action, there is a reaction, right? Everything you do, there's a consequence. There's a follow-up. There's an effect for every cause. We're seeing a couple of causes going now, and we're getting ready to witness the effect. You know, that's why it's so important to keep your eyes open to observe, you know, all the strange behavior that's going to start going on. Because this place is already through as it is, but there is something that's happening. Something is happening. We don't know exactly what it is, but something is happening in the spirit. All right. Verse 7, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. All right, now moving on. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse. All right, I'm going to just hit the point for time's sake. Isaiah 47 and 10. It says here, matter of fact, 9. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection. For what? For the multitude of thy sorceries. This is talking about Babylon, right? The multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. So what sorceries and enchantments are they talking about? This country was built by Freemasons and Rosicrucians and Jesuits. What do you think they get into? Freemasonry, right? All this stuff they get into. What do you think that's about? There's spiritual wickedness up in that. There's a hierarchy in that. And the higher you go, the more dark and wicked and satanic it gets. So they do perform sorceries. They do get into these things. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was CERN. They were doing something. I forgot what it was. Maybe one of these same kind of experiments. And then they received like some feedback from it, which said like tickle, like a voice or like a sound or whatever it was, said tickle. And I remember brothers doing videos on it. Okay. So they playing with fire and they're about to get burned. And who knows? Maybe they might unleash some shit. Let's see. Verse 10, it says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. Yeah, because the Lord opened up their minds to certain things so that they can do certain actions that'll bring about prophecy. But it has perverted them. Okay. And because what do they do with that? Psalm 64, they search out iniquity. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They do a diligent search with the wisdom and knowledge they have through their technology, but that's in an evil manner. It says, thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Because they're feeling very proud. It says, verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. Now, we know that these elites, for the most part, they're orchestrating a controlled demolition, right? Where they're setting this up, they're setting this up, they're setting this up. But this is the Most High's show. So a time like never before, these elites, they're going to start something, but the Most High is going to take it out of their hands. At some point, this is going to leave their control, and they're going to be shaken, and they're going to be afraid. Okay, ultimately, you know, it's going to end with the missiles and the lasers from the chariots coming down. But there are going to be certain evils that the Lord is going to put out here that these elites are not going to have control over. That even they and their scientists are going to be like, whoa, what is that? That is not us. Like how when certain miracles that or signs that Moses and Aaron performed, even the magicians and sorcerers of Pharaoh said, "Nah, that's the hand of God right there. We cannot replicate that. You got to chill out, my man. You better listen to what they're saying." So at some point, the Most High is going to show, he's going to do something. He's going to bring some evils that these people are not going to have control over. And they're not going to be, as it says, they're not going to be able to put it off. They're not going to be able to, because Esau likes to control and categorize things, right? Oh, if this is this, then it means this. Put this here, put this here. But they're not going to be able to do that with the things that are about to take place. Okay? It says, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which is going into that destruction. All right? Because it's going to take 1 hour, only 1 hour for this place to be completely destroyed. So that's the overall destruction. But you're going to have, interior incidents that are going to be happening within before the total dissolving of this place. And as it says, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries. This isn't one priest somewhere in the corner, don't know. They have thousands. They have a lot of priests, sorcerers, all these mediums, okay? And these people are not like people that just, I pick somebody over here and have them rehearse this. These people, like how we go into the scriptures and we study, and we go out there in the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We do our best to serve the Lord. These devils have people that are into this, that are bred to learn and study dark magic, to study the rituals, to study the mediums, to study what's needed for the sacrifices, to perform the sacrifices. So they know what they're doing. Okay, they've been doing it for years. This isn't something they started. This is left hand information from years ago, from ancient civilizations. And they have objects, ruins, materials, scrolls, writings, all of that. Okay, so they know what they're doing. But as the scripture said, so since you have all these enchantments and these sorceries, right, and you got all this going on, use that to defend you. Right? It says, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. All right, which is pretty much is just he's not, he's basically saying, look, if you got all this power, go ahead. Maybe you just might be able to withstand this, but they're not going to be able to withstand it. All right, but I'm going to stop it there. That's the main point that I wanted to bring out. I know brother's been putting a lot of precepts on here, so Lord willing, I'll be able to get a few of these. All right, what we got? Yep, this is Yahweh's truth, Amos 3:6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahweh hath not done it? Yeah, because every evil that comes, just like a cause and effect, right? With every evil that comes, the Most High is behind it. Because everything that happens is the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Literally everything, from the most extravagant thing to the most detailed, tiny, minute thing, the Most High is in control of it all. Okay. Let's see. Yep, this is a good one. This is Big Nez, Obadiah 1:3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down? Because on the grand scheme of things, these devils don't really know. They don't really know much. Trust me. On the things that exist to be known, what these devils know is but a tiny fraction. So, but they haven't been fully exposed to what there is to know. So of that fraction they know, they don't see the bigger picture. So they think they got all this technology. They're creating this. They're tapping into this. Like what heathen was ever able to reach the level they've reached? They're the hot shit, but they don't even know. So that pride it is gone to their head. We developed this, we developed that. We're working on this. We're going to be able to be gods. We're going to use technology to do this and that and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, like it says, who shall bring me down to the ground? When Yahushua comes back, they're gonna be you're gonna be lower than the ground. All right. Literally, because we're gonna have pits for your ass. um, all right, let's see what else we got. Yep, this is Manatzach Lacham Da, Psalms 9 and 16. The Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. That's a beautiful precept right there. Why? Because the Most High put it in their spirit to do something that was going to end up coming back on them. A lot of these things they're setting up, the Most High has them doing it, but eventually it's going to backfire on them. They're trying to set up a collapse so they can reemerge, but they don't realize that once they go down, they may start trying to come up, but it's not going to last. It says the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. So now here's something interesting, right? You got people that argue that hell is this place you go and burn forever. So what does it mean the wicked shall be turned into hell? Does that mean that if somebody, you got a wicked individual, they're gonna transform into a realm of fire where you burn forever? How does that make sense? What does that, if we go with the definition of hell as a place you go after you die and burn forever, how is the wicked, which is a human being, going to be turned into a place where you burn forever? And all nations that forget God. And how is it that these nations they're gonna come back? They're gonna come back through reincarnation. They're gonna be on the planet Earth, but at the same time, they're gonna be turned into a fiery realm where you're burning. So who's gonna be in the fire? If the people that are wicked are gonna be the fire, then who's gonna be burning in the fire? Anyway, let's see. Yep, this is Yaikwab, Yashashkar, or Yashsha. Yeah, Yashashkar. It says Psalms 64 and 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Right? Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But what's going to happen? But the Most High God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. And that's the painful part in the punch is the sudden part. Yeah, the punch hurts, right? But it hurts. Sometimes it feels like it hurts even more when it's sudden. Why? Because your defenses are not up. You know? So the Lord is about to bring this sudden destruction upon these people. All right, so I'll finish it with this. This is actually, let me get this one first. This is Defense of the Gospel 144, Psalm 10 and 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. Yeah, because he thinks that he's God. But eventually, what's going to happen? They're going to be proven otherwise. This is Yahweh's truth, Proverbs 21 and 12. The righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked, but the Most High overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness. So that's exactly what's going to happen. But before they get overthrown, we're going to see some things. Before the kingdom gets instituted, we are going to witness some things. All right. And it's going to be by the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai that we're going to be able to survive those things. All right. Anyway, with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakudash. Until next time, Shalom.